were like, oh, Rocky's that kid that stole his parents' car and got sent to Mexico, and now he's in school with us.
When you came out of that program, what happened next for you?
So I was about 12 or 13, and when I came out, the school I was in before, with all my friends, from grade school growing up, I was sent automatically to a quote unquote like high class private school about 30 minutes away from my home. My father bought a home there in order for us to all go to this private school. And me just coming out of this situation I was in, most of the kids there, had issues with drugs and gangs and violence, and were quite a bit older than me. I was one of the youngest ones there. So to be going from that and to put into like this type of school all of a sudden, and then these people already knew my story because they heard me on the roll call for 6 months while I didn't show up because I was in this school. They were like, oh, Rocky's that kid that stole his parents' car and got sent to Mexico, and now he's in school with us. So I already had this kind of build up there. And that, time there, I was kicked out of that school maybe 6 months later after a kid, said something mean to me, and I kind of threatened him back. And, that was kind of my reaction at that time. If someone tries to bother me or hurt me, I felt like I would have to lash back very quickly. Otherwise, I would be seen as someone that could be hurt and taken advantage of. So getting kicked out of there just kind of spiraled into me going from there to military school, and then to another facility, and then back to a Catholic boarding school, then to public school. And then when I was in the public school, back in my hometown where I started, I quickly kind of fell into the crowd of like partying and drinking, at 17 years old. And on the way back from spring break one year, I got pulled over by the police. I wasn't driving, but we had alcohol in the car and got charged with minors in possession of alcohol. And a week or so later, I came home late one night. I saw my father on the couch. I already knew that what could happen to me to get sent to these schools. He was already upset with me. So I closed my door. I put my desk in front of my door, put my dog in my room, kept like a hammer and knife under my bed, and I was scared to sleep. But somehow they opened the door without me hearing it, got my dog out, and woke me up with my hands and my feet cuffed. And I was headed back to the same facility, or a different facility by the same program, with actually the same owners who kind of like, when I was there the first time, he like basically beat me up, kicked me down the hallway, and tied my hands and feet behind my back for 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't even know how many days it was, but I laid on the ground and had nothing but orange juice and rice twice a day. And I was heading back there, and I was on the border of Canada and New York in Ogdensburg.
Holy Toledo. Your parents had no clue about what was going on at the school.
They didn't. I remember when I first got out, I tried to tell them a little bit, and I told them like, what happened, and the sexual stuff, the physical stuff. And they were kind of like a little bit skeptical of it. At this point in time, the schools had told them that your kids are going to manipulate you, they're going to lie to you, so don't believe anything they say.
Wow. Okay, so this is really a professional brainwashing program. They didn't only brainwash you, they brainwashed your parents.
Exactly.
So this is like, holy crap, Rocky. I had no idea that when we were talking about prison and jails, you weren't kidding. You didn't have to be in jail. I mean, you were a kid. You weren't in jail. You were sent to school for parents trying to reclaim you into the family with love. Holy crap.